This phone here is a total monster. It has a 22,000 milliamp hour battery, as you can see by its size. To put that in perspective, that's like having 4 Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultras in relation to battery life. Now, it is designed for people that like rugged, practical products. It also has some cool customizable LED lighting on the rear and much more. It also has a crazy night vision camera that allows you to see in pitch black. Let's dive in and see what's going on here. All right, so let's see what's going on here. So this is the Doogee VMAX Plus. This is their flagship rugged smartphone. So you get this box, the phone comes out. I already performed an unboxing. And let me show you what you get in the box. So you get a 33-watt charger. And of course, based on your region, you'll get the proper plug for your particular region. You also get a USB Type-C cable. All right. And you also get a screen protector that you can attach directly to the phone to protect the display. And then you get an actual user manual. Okay. So you do get everything in the box to get you started. And as I'll show you in a little bit, you actually don't even need a case with this phone. It is that rugged. All right. So again, you can see it's a massive phone. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick tour around the device, show you what's going on. So real quick, let's take a look at the camera system. So we have a triple camera system. We will look at some samples later in the video, but we do have a 200 megapixel main camera. We have an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then we have a 20 megapixel night vision camera. So right over here, we have the built-in flash, and right over here, we have the infrared lights for the night vision camera. You can basically see in pitch black. I'm going to show you guys some samples in a little bit as well. So that is the camera. Now what we have over here is we have what is known as a side button. This is a customizable side button to which you can assign functions. And over here we have the SIM card, and also it accepts micro SD expansion. So you can add up to 2 terabytes of extra storage on top of what you already get. So that's the SIM/storage tray. And I'm going to show you what's going on with this button. But just to show you a quick example, if I press the button right now, I have it set up so the flashlight comes on. I can also program it to double tap and long press. We'll look at those details. Beyond that, we have a rubberized plastic right here. So if this phone falls down, it's going to absorb. Okay, so you can see I'm hitting the desk, and that's plastic to wood contact. So this is going to be a rubberized shock absorbers. But over here, we have metal. Now, one more thing on the back I'm going to show you guys is both of these are actual lights, and they can be customized. So we'll look at that also. And then at the bottom, right over here, we have USB Type-C port. It is protected by this plastic flap, so you just pull this up and you can charge it that way. And you can also see the bottom firing speakers. And of course, we have stereo speakers. We also have 2 speakers on the top right here, as you can see. Okay, nothing else on the top right here. And if I go this way, we have the power button, and also the fingerprint sensor is built into the power button. And then we have volume up and down. And just to show you guys, the fingerprint sensor is right here. So I'm going to put my finger on it, and it's going to log me right in. It works really good and fast. All right, so let's quickly talk about the basic specs over here. So let's look at the display. So this is going to be a 6.5-inch display. It's a 120 hertz display. So if I go down over here, you can see I can change the refresh rate from 60 to 90 to 120. So that's an option you have. And also we have an LED, which is going to be right here. So when you're charging the phone, or when the battery is low, or when you have a missed call or an unread message, you are going to get an actual LED light on the top, which is great. And also you can see we have a teardrop notch right here, but if you don't like it, you do have the option to tap on top screen display and disable that. Okay, so you can get this view or this view. So that's also an option you have with the display. Now the display has a maximum peak brightness of 450 nits in that range. And when I take this outside, it is pretty visible on a normal bright day. May not be perfectly visible under bright sunlight, but if you just maneuver the phone, you'll be able to see everything no problem. Now, one more thing I want to let you know is the camera on the front is a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and the glass on the front on the display is Gorilla Glass Victus. So they're using high quality material for the front display, which makes sense. It's a rugged phone. Now when it comes to performance, what we have a Dimensity 7050 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage. And remember, you can add an additional 2 terabytes of storage using the micro SD slot. One thing I'm going to show you guys with the performance is, if I do go to the settings, I can scroll down and I can go to memory expansion. And using the actual storage, I can expand the RAM from 16 all the way to 36. So I can add 20 gigabytes of virtual RAM to my 12 gigs, getting 36 gigabytes. Mostly though, you'll be fine with the 16. It's a very smooth operational phone, okay? So when I go into apps, yeah, that's very, very smooth. No question about that. Especially because the 120 hertz and Dimensity 7050 is a capable processor. It is a mid-range processor, but still a capable one. Another huge thing about this phone is the battery life. Like I said, it's got 22,000 milliamp hours battery. If I were to go in here, just to give you an idea, that battery is equal to 7 iPhone 15 batteries or 4.5 Galaxy S24 Ultra batteries. It also is capable of getting you 1,540 hours of standby time. That's 64 days. But if you fully charge the phone and you just want to watch videos, you can watch them for 40 plus hours. No problem. So those are some impressive specs, especially the battery. Alright, so let's quickly test the speaker quality. Like I said, we have stereo speakers, so we should get good sound quality. So I'm going to tap on this and tap on play. Alright, so to me, that sounds more than good enough. That is some rich and loud sound. Will be great for gaming, watching movies, whatever you need. Now earlier we talked about the fact that we have a side button right over here that is customizable. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to go to my settings right over here, and I'm going to go down, I'm going to say the side key function. So I'm going to tap on it, and you can see I can set one click, double click, or long press. If I go to one click, I can activate any one of these guys. I chose flashlight, okay? I can double click and choose something else. Let's just say screenshot. And I can do a long press, and I can choose either these or just launch any app that I want right from here, okay? So let's choose this one right here, and let's go home. Now you can see if I long press the button, it's going to launch the calculator, okay? If I double press it, it's going to get me the screenshot, and if I just press it once, it gets me the flashlight for quick access at nighttime, maybe for any reason. Press again, shuts off. Great. So I just plugged this phone to the charger. I'm going to show you guys what's going on in the back. This light actually is on. Let me lower the other lights so you can see it. So you're going to see this light right here. That's going to glow green. That means it is in fact charging. And if the battery was too low, it would be red. But you are going to get that glow. And then we have a secondary light right over here. Let me show you that. So I'm going to keep the lights low because I want to show you guys the LED. But again, if you go to the settings and you go down, we have the light realm area. So if I tap on it, so basically I have it enabled, the light switch. And look at this. I can do red, green, or blue. So I'm going to keep it at red, and let me show you what the options are. So when you're playing music, when you're getting calls, or when you're getting notifications, that light on the back is going to work, and you have these options. You can do brilliance, okay? You can do flashing, or you can do the meteor option, all right? So let me show you the flashing option as an example. So it's going to be doing this thing right here, as you can see. And if I were to flip it over and choose brilliance, and then that's going to be this one right over here. Let's go back. I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's say I picked the green one. Now you get the same exact effects, but in the green color, as you can see. Okay? So very nice customizable lighting areas at the rear. All right, so let's talk about the camera, and I do want to show you guys the night vision mode before anything else, and then we'll move on to other stuff. So I'm standing inside my office here, and this almost feels like a scary movie. All the lights are off. The night vision mode is enabled with the infrared lighting. So look at this. There is a slight focusing problem here, but as I come closer to a item, I can just see everything. These are camera lenses I can see, and there is no light in here. This is not the night mode that you're used to. This is actual night vision, okay? So you have that option in this phone with the camera. Now, when it comes to the rest of the camera, I'll let you guys know that the only camera that I like that's usable, in my opinion, is the 200 megapixel main camera for taking photos. You can see some samples, they look pretty nice. But when you go into ultra wide, you don't get the same kind of detail on it. It is still usable, but I do think the 200 megapixel main camera is still going to be the only one I would use to take photos. Now, when it comes to videos, the stabilization is not that great. So you can see the video quality is nice. Again, that's a high megapixel camera, but the stabilization from what I've seen so far is not that great. Even when I enable the electronic image stabilization, looks like there's some jitteriness, there's some stutter. Maybe this is something that will be fixed with a software update, but for now, when it comes to camera, personally, I would only use the 200 megapixel main camera to take photos and the night vision camera to do night vision stuff. Again, remember, the primary focus of this phone is not the camera, it is that crazy battery life and that rugged design, plus some of the features I showed you guys earlier. And of course, I want to let you guys know that this phone is in fact fully water resistant, more than standard flagship. So we have IP68 and IP69K water resistance. So you can see I can wash it, and that's not going to cause any problems. Okay, let's go back to the home screen. Works perfectly fine, no problem. All right, so we have talked about everything, and here's a list of pros and cons of this product. So number one is going to be the 22,000 milliamp hour battery that's going to last you several days without charging, far beyond any standard phone you can think of. We also have fast and snappy performance without lag. We have the cool customizable lights. We have that ultra rugged design with built-in drop protection with maximum protection from water and dust ingress. The main 200 megapixel camera is good, and you get the special night vision mode. And finally, you have an actual LED light indicator in the front. Now the cons, the video stabilization and ultra wide camera are not so good. And then this product is heavy and larger than other phones, but obviously you cannot have a 22,000 milliamp hour battery otherwise. But that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Links to buy this product or get more details are also going to be down below, and there are some initial discounts on this product. All right, guys, for now, have a fantastic day.